Hey guys, this is Jessica Gutierrez with Clean With Me podcast. This is a podcast where I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. So let's clean together. Hey everybody, so as you guys know, we just started a deep cleaning series. So the first episode I made was on the kitchen, and I said I was going to do a part 2. So this is going to be a part 2 of our spring deep cleaning series, and we're going to do the rest of the kitchen and dining room today. So you guys get ready to do that. We're going to do our usual rituals, whatever it is you do to get ready to clean. For me, I like throwing my hair up in a bun, getting ready in some capacity, and putting some, comfortable clothes for cleaning on. And I also like lighting a candle and opening windows. That way I can see all the dust and fingerprints from my babies and all that good stuff. And also it lightens the mood, makes you happy, more productive, in my opinion. So again, whatever it is you do, maybe you want to get fully ready for the day before you do your deep cleaning, but whatever helps you be more productive. I find that I'm more productive if I take a shower, get ready, and then clean, because it just gets me up and going and my blood pumping. So I believe where we left off, we were finishing up with some cabinets in the kitchen. So you guys just be getting ready. While you're getting ready to clean, if you want to throw a load of laundry in, just so you are getting your normal chores done. Even when I'm deep cleaning, I always have laundry, so I always just go ahead and throw a load in. But yeah, anyway, I always have a mountain of laundry no matter what, so even when I'm doing my deep cleaning, like I said, I like just throwing a load of laundry into the washer, and that way while I'm doing my other stuff, that's working. So you don't have to do that, but if you want to, if you have a pile of laundry a mile high every day, that like me, then you could do that. But moving on to the kitchen, when I was talking about this in the first episode, and we were talking about our kitchen cabinets and pantries and whatnot, I talked about putting things into piles, whether they be in boxes or bags or just piles, whatever is easiest for you and works functionally for you. Have a box of stuff you're donating or donating. Have a box of stuff you're throwing away, or a trash bag of stuff you're throwing away. And then have a pile of maybes. If you're a person that has a hard time letting go of things, definitely have a pile of maybes. And this works with any organization, but we're talking kitchen cabinets, so, but it's the same concept no matter what you're organizing. And then have a pile of keep and putting back into the pantry after I give a thorough wipe down. And I like to, for those of you that maybe just jumped on here and didn't listen to the first, I highly recommend you do go back and listen to the first, but that way you'll better understand when I'm going back and forth and talking about the first one, which I'll try not to do too much of, but I like to do one cabinet at a time, because that way it's not overwhelming. You don't want to pull everything out of every cabinet at once and then it be a huge mess, and then something comes up for some reason, and then you just have this pile of everything you own in the kitchen on the floor. If you prefer to do it now, if your brain works like that and you would prefer to pull everything out of every pantry as a form of motivation because it's out in the open and you have to get it done, and you think that there's no other way you're going to get it done unless you pull everything out and put it, take care of every single pantry and cabinet at the same time. If that's the way your brain works, then, and everyone's different. And I used to be like that when I was younger. For some, if I was cleaning out my closet or something, sorry for saying so much, but it's a force of habit. But when I used to clean my closet or something, or under the bed, I would just which that's a little bit different, but I would pull everything out. Or if I was cleaning out my my drawers. I would pull everything out and then take care of it all at once. And that motivated me back then. But now, I guess, because of the phase of life I'm in with the kids and stuff, I know that there's probably something that's going to come up. Or they're going to need a snack, or something's going to happen, and I'm going to lose a little bit of momentum. So, just in case that happens, I prefer the way of just doing it one at a time. One section of the pantry at a time. One shelf of the pantry at a time. One cabinet of pans at a time, etc., etc. And just a quick side note while you guys are getting everything going and started. If you're new here, this is a continuation of my last deep cleaning episode. It's called Deep Cleaning the Kitchen. It's part of our new deep cleaning series. So if you're just now joining us, this is a podcast run by my mom and myself. And our usual podcasts are us walking through you cleaning the house step by step. Through each room, and we'll walk you through that just as a way to keep you on task and maybe give you ideas of things you didn't think about. We also have speed cleaning episodes, and now we're trying a new thing where we're doing a deep cleaning series about doing spring cleaning, if you will, and organizing the house. And all of this is going to be organized and categorized by how popular the episode was, and what category the episode is in. Like, it's going to have the entire deep cleaning series once we're finished with it on cleanwithmepodcast.com, which my mom and myself are working on right now, and you're welcome to go check it out. It's got different recipes and tricks and tips and anything you need to know about cleaning, and we're still working on it. We write articles every few days, weeks, whenever the creativity gets sparked and we get an idea, we will post that to our website, cleanwithmepodcast.com. So please check that out, see what we're about, and let's continue. So, whatever area you're on, I ended on a pantry. So if you're still working on your pantry, that is great. Go ahead and finish that. And I understand everyone's kitchen layout's different. Everybody's going to have different issues, or say, your spice cabinet is extremely organized, but your pantry is just a mess. Then during this episode, you're going to want to focus on your pantry and then spend some less time in the spice cabinet or what have you. So if you're noticing that you have a lot of something and you're digging through things to find it. For example, since spice cabinet came up, I have a cabinet with my spices and little ingredients for things and whatnot. And I want that easy to see. So if you don't have a little thing where Lazy Susan type situation where you can put the spices in, I found a really cheap organizer. I probably got it at Dollar Tree, and I just got this little organizer, put it in the cabinet for my spices, and I made it to where I don't have to dig anymore, and they're really accessible. I can see each little spice that I need. That way I'm not making a mess of my spice cabinet every time I go cook. I can see everything. So if you see any problem areas where there's too much stuff and you're not able to see everything at once and you're having to dig, and that's creating a mess over a long period of time, which is what I do to myself a lot, I will think, okay, instead of just digging through this pile anymore, I am going to get rid of some stuff and get some organizing tools, which you can get, Dollar Tree, Family Dollar. I'm sure there's little cheap, even Walmart will have little dividers or organizers or whatnot for cheap. And then you can use those to make your cabinets and everything in them more accessible. But the other thing that I mentioned, you might just have too much of something. So, for example, someone gave me tons of canned foods the other day. It was a neighbor. She was moving and she gave me tons of canned foods. Well, there are some things in that, and they've been sitting in the cabinet for a while, but there are some things that I'm never going to eat out of those canned foods, and I have tons of them, and they're just taking up space. I'm never going to eat them. That would be an example of something that I should donate, because they are just taking up room. I have to move them every time I'm trying to get something. So that's an example of something you would move and get out of the way. So if you still need to be working on your pantry or any of the cabinets that I talked about in the previous episode, or even your refrigerator, which I talked about in the previous episode, please continue to do that while I talk. Whatever you need to do, everyone has, like I said, everyone has different problem areas, hot spots. I know I live in Texas, so I have a junk drawer, and that's like a typically used phrase over here. For those of you listening from across the pond and things like that, what I'm referring to when I say junk drawer, in my kitchen dining room area, I have a miscellaneous drawer where it's not anything kitchen related. It's just batteries and pencils and, things of that nature. Candles in case the lights go out, just stuff like that. Birthday candles in case of someone having a birthday. Just little miscellaneous things, but it tended to get out of control really easily. So again, got rid of everything that I didn't need anymore, and then put everything that I did need back in an organized manner to where I can see everything and get to it easily. And while you guys are organizing, I just want to reiterate that before you put everything back in the cabinet, and again, if you didn't listen to the first one, I highly recommend you do, but I'm just going to talk one more time and repeat the system through going through each cabinets that I like to use. Is, again, I know I already said this, but just to make sure that those of you that didn't listen to the first one understand where I'm coming from, I have a box for donation. As I'm going through these cabinets, I have a bag for things that just need to be trashed, that are junk, as far as like expired cans of food or anything of that nature. And then the next one would be stuff that I'm putting back into the cabinet. And then once you're completely done with that cabinet or drawer, you give it a thorough wipe down. I like to use the generic Clorox wipes that are lemon scented myself, or just a wet rag, soapy rag, what have you, and just wipe it out thoroughly before putting everything back in an organized manner to where you can see everything. So you could be working on that, any one of your drawers or cabinets, or you can clean along with me with the dining room area. I just want to talk about the dining room really quickly. So I myself do not have a dining room. I have a very small house. But for those of you that do, my dining area would be where my kids eat. They have little desks that they eat at in my little apartment. I live on a ranch in this little apartment. And they have little desks that they eat at, and every once in a while they need a deep clean. So for those of you that have a big dining room or just a small dining room table and chairs, let's make sure let's do a thorough wipe down of the table or desks. In my case, I know that that's probably not your case, but wherever your kids or yourself eat, I want you guys to do a thorough wipe down of that dining room table, underneath the table, the legs of the table, and just really get in there with your cleaning supplies of choice and clean them very thoroughly. If you have a high chair or multiple high chairs, get in there. Let's clean the liner, wash it off. If you have to throw it in the wash, you could do that. If you want to hand wash it, you could do that. And just really get into the cracks of those high chairs if you have them. Because I know that high chairs get really dirty really quickly. Obviously, babies are messy, and there can be little things hiding in the cracks of your high chair, and it probably needs a deep clean. I had to deep clean my high chair so much when my kids were that age. So just give that a very thorough wipe down. Make sure you're getting all of the little nooks and crannies. Now, if you have stuff accumulated on top of your dining room table, let's say that's your hot spot, and by hot spot I just mean somewhere that's like a catch-all that you're throwing stuff on when you get home from work, or say you have teenagers, or husband, wife, whatever it may be, partner, your roommate, throwing stuff on this certain area. Maybe it's your dining room table, side table, and they're just throwing whatever on this table. It's accumulated, maybe cans and keys and all the things. Maybe you have that kind of situation going on your dining room table. I know a lot of people that don't use their dining room very often, so they just use it as kind of like a catch-all, and that's their hot spot. So let's get in there and do the same method as the cabinets. We're gonna put the stuff away that needs to be put away. We're going to throw away things that need to be thrown away. We're going to donate the things that need to be donated. I doubt dining room table you're donating anything, but just to reiterate for the cabinets and stuff. And then last but not least, just think about what really is supposed to be on the dining room table, and maybe we're used to seeing a certain thing sitting on the dining room table all the time. Like, oh, well, that's always where I throw my purse and whatever. So you're just used to seeing it there. But I would, just to declutter and make the place look nicer, I would find a rack or something that you could put your purse or bag on. Basically find a solution that is a little bit more organized, to where things aren't just going to keep making that dining room a hot spot. Find an organizer for the things that are typically thrown on that hot spot, and then create a solution for it. So an organizer or a drawer that they can put those things in as they get home from work, their wallet, their keys, what have you, whether you have teenagers or a roommate, like I said. So, be working on that if that's what you need to do. If that's not an issue for you and you're thinking to yourself, well, my dining room table was just a quick wipe down, what do I do next? Let's think about your trash can. Most people have trash cans in their kitchen. Is your trash can looking rough? I have littles. I have a 5 and a 3-year-old, so my trash can, I always keep a liner in, but if the liner falls for some reason, every once in a while something slips down to the bottom of that plastic trash can. Okay, is what I'm getting at. So sometimes it gets a little bit funky down there, and every once in a while when I'm taking out the trash, if I see gunk or trash at the bottom of the trash bin after I take out the trash, you can either wash that out in your bathtub or shower, or you could go outside if it's warm outside and just hose it out. Or if it's not that bad, you could just get in there with some gloves and a Clorox wipe or a wipe and just get in there and clean the inside and the outside of this trash can. Also, if it's up against the wall, your trash can, look to see if there's any splatters on the wall. And this applies for the whole dining room area, especially if you have kids of any age. Look in your entire dining area, and also behind the stove. I might have mentioned this in the last episode, for any grease stains, grease splatters, and go ahead and wipe down those walls as well. Because if we're deep cleaning the kitchen, we want to wipe down everything. So let's go ahead and wipe down the walls. Let's go ahead and wipe down the spot behind the trash can. If you have a window inside of your dining area or your kitchen area, then maybe you need to clean the window with some Windex and paper towels and then wipe down the windowsill for any dust. So once you're done with the trash can and wiping down the walls and getting all those splatters off, I'm not sure if I brought this up. I probably just mentioned it quickly, but your microwave, if you have not gotten to that yet, just take out the glass plate that goes in there, put it in your sink, clean that with soap very thoroughly, and then do a very thorough wipe down of the inside of your microwave. If that's something that you struggle with and it's been neglected for a while, so it's a little funky in there, please take your time. If you need to pause me, rewind me, what have you, do whatever you need to do. If any of these tasks, I'm just giving you guys ideas. I'm not expecting you to finish everything in the time allotted because I know I'm going very quickly. This is just more of a guide, step-by-step guide. And if you need to jot something down on paper or re-listen and then pause until you finish a certain task and then finish the task and restart, whatever you are more comfortable doing. I myself, because sometimes I do listen to my moms to clean because it does help, and I like my own podcast, but sometimes I need her perspective because she thinks about things that I wouldn't think about. So sometimes when I'm listening to her podcast and she's going a little fast for me, I'll just keep listening. But sometimes I'll pause, sometimes I'll just keep listening. And if she gets too ahead of me, I'll just jot something down on a piece of paper. If something that she said I know I'm not going to have time to do right this second, I'll just jot it down and then do it at the end of the podcast. Or I'll rewind and just restart like the dishes portion until I'm finished with the dishes if I'm having a really bad dish day. So I use a lot of different methods. Whatever works best for you, you can do that. If you want to just write on a piece of paper all of the stuff I'm saying and then as an idea, and then re-listen and do as much as you can while you're listening to me, and then while you're getting stuff done, just mark them off on the chart. And then if you're still not finished after the end of this podcast, you can listen to maybe the part 1 or another cleaning walkthrough while you're doing the rest of the things on the list that hadn't been crossed off yet. I want to talk about the floors. So every once in a while, those kitchen floors, dining room floors, whatever your setup is, needs a deep clean. So deep clean those floors. I know you, I don't know what kind of machine you use. Everybody does different things. I have a super small house, so sometimes if I don't want to do a full mop, I will just go with wet rags and put them on my feet and just, walk around and just wipe it up real quick if I'm in a hurry. I'm telling on myself here. But if you want to do this is a deep clean, spring cleaning, so we want to get down to the baseboards. We want to wipe down the baseboards. We want to make sure everything's clean. We want to, really get in there, do a very thorough sweep and mop, and really get those floors sparkling. Now, my mother's floors are a nightmare. She has a huge kitchen and dining room area that's tile, and it shows up really easily if she's got little scuffs and stuff on it. So she has to use special products and stuff. So everyone's different, but just do a very deep clean of your floor. If you have like carpeting in the dining area, or maybe it's all tile, or it's all hardwood floor, whatever it may be. Whatever's specific to your floors, do a deep clean of those floors. And I believe this was already talked about in the first one, but if you missed any areas during the wipe down, whether that be on your wall, the windows, or on the cabinets themselves, the outside of the refrigerator, inside the microwave. If you missed any wipe downs, make sure you're thoroughly, and when I say make sure, this is obviously up to you guys whether you want to do these things or not. I'm just your guide. I'm just here to help you get ideas of what to clean and try to keep you on track. But obviously do whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do. It is completely up to you. I just want to help you if that's possible. And talking to you right now and talking about deep cleaning my kitchen, I'm even thinking about some of the stuff that I missed when I was doing it that I did not finish yet. Like I completely forgot about my windows, so I'm going to clean my windows and my windowsill when I get off here, and a couple other things in the kitchen. One more thing, the oven. I know you guys, if you're avid listeners, you know the oven story. If not, I'll just give you a quick rundown of that. Don't forget to clean your oven. If you hand clean it, there's all kinds of special degreasers you can get. You can put them in there, let it sit until it's completely soaked and everything, because ovens can be hard to clean. Get a very hardcore sponge or I forget what they're called, Brillo pads, and just scrub, get that oven nice and sparkling, and then wipe it up with a wet rag and just really get in there and clean. If your oven has a self-cleaning button, those of you that are avid listeners know the story, but my mother and father were trying to clean for company really quickly, and I guess they were just scrambling because someone was about to come to the house, and somebody, I think it was my mom, threw some nonstick pans in the oven just to hide them. I don't remember if they were clean or dirty or why she did that, but she put them in there, and my dad was just in cleaning mode, so he pressed self-clean on the oven. Well, it gets super, super scalding hot. I don't know how hot it gets, but hot enough to start a fire. Let's just say that. And that pan that was inside that was nonstick burst into flames. And when you're doing a self-cleaning on an oven, especially the oven they had, it locks the oven so it will not open. And my dad tried so hard to get it open because there was a fire, and he ripped off the handle because that's how hard he was trying to open the thing, and it would not open. So they ended up having to call the fire department, and we were in a really small town, and the fire department had to take the oven outside and hit it with an axe to get it open, and it was on fire, and luckily we were able to catch it before it got worse. It did not damage any part of our house, thank goodness. It was more contained to the oven. But definitely make sure there's nothing in your oven if you're doing the self-clean, please. Learn from my father's mistakes. The racks in there, inside the oven, if you need to put them in the sink and let them sit with some degreaser on there, you can do that and then come back to it and wipe them off. I think there's this stuff called the pink stuff or something that's supposed to work really good for that. I said I was going to try it. I have not tried that yet. I need to clean out my oven, so I'm probably going to try some, and I'll let you guys know what I think of it. And I myself have an electric stove, but if you have a gas stove with the little, I call them cages that go on top of the gas burners on the stove, if you need to clean that out, also get a good degreaser, put some degreaser on those cages, let them soak, or if you just have hot soapy water, you could do that way as well, and just let them soak, wipe them off once they've been soaking for a while. I prefer having degreasers, though. I used to have a gas stove, and that's how I would do it, and then I would thoroughly clean the stovetop and get all of the little cracks and stuff. And I know people that used to just put foil underneath their gas stovetops cages just so that it wouldn't get stained up or things wouldn't get burnt. But I didn't really like the way that looked myself, so I would just periodically clean it with degreaser. But I hope you guys got something out of this. I hope you guys learned a lot. I hope that you'll enjoy this series, the deep cleaning series. We're going to do a different room every time, and we're going to mix in regular episodes as well. So you guys aren't getting all of this deep cleaning episodes all at once. You're going to get some of our regular content sprinkled in that way here and there throughout the weeks, because that way you can still get your daily clean on. And the goal for this spring cleaning is that you listen to one a week and do one room a week of your house until everything's clean. Or when the whole deep cleaning series is complete, you could do it one every day until it's complete. Whatever works for you the best, but whatever works the best for you. But like I said, once it's finished and everything, we're going to have different categories, our best episodes, our episodes categorized. But you'll be able to find that on cleanwithmepodcast.com. We'll have that all on there, as well as like I said, cleaning recipes and all other a bunch of fun stuff, and some behind the scenes stuff as well. So, thank you guys. The next episode, my mom will do the next one on the deep cleaning series. So stay tuned for that. She's keeping what room she's doing as a surprise as of now, because I think she's going to do an area of her house deep cleaning, and then just like I did the kitchen, so I was able to talk about it better. And then she's going to do one area of her house, and then she's going to talk about that in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for listening, and as always, happy cleaning.